Hi, it's TC here. I'm working on the 1.4 Lupo. It's a petrol one. I cleaned the EGR valve just over a month ago and it's been fine since, but it's just thrown up recently exhaust valve recirculation problem. So it would say to me that the EGR valve is more than likely on its way out, playing up and sticking. It's as it's 15 years old, it's about time it was changed. I've got an aftermarket one. It's not as much as a retailer, it's about half the price, about £55 it cost. So I'm going to see how it goes and see what it works like. So let's fit it on. Okay, the EGR valve on this engine is just down under here. It's just underneath here. So I'm going to remove this plastic cover. As you can see, it's not held on with that one. It's held on with that one, and the two at the back, and then that will lift off. So I'm just going to remove that off now. Okay, so I've removed the cover. There's the EGR valve here, sitting in here. It's held on with two bolts under there and electrical connector on the top. So I'm just going to pull that off, if it will. No, it needs a bit more work on that, so I'm just going to pull that off and undo those two bolts there underneath, and probably need a bit of a spray before I start taking them off. I'm just going to put the nuts in the little box I have over the back there, just to keep anything safe. Okay, that's the two nuts off. Just ease that out of there now. Okay, this piece here, I've just levered it off of. It goes, slides on there with the EGR valve. That's the back part of it. So I just slid that off gently, and just slid the EGR valve off. And here is the EGR valve. Got a little breather pipe on it. But as you can see inside here, it's all very, very black and gungy. And I compare that one with the new aftermarket one, which is all nice and clean. As I say, it's £55 that one. It's not a Pyberg, but it should do the trick. It's what's down as this for this vehicle. Some of them are over £100, £150 I've seen them for, so we'll see how it goes. I'm just going to fit it back on. Okay, I've just taken the breather pipe off the old one and just slide it onto the new one. And that's it, it's in. Now, what I've got to do now is fit the gaskets. That comes with two new metal gaskets. Slide them on. Oh, they're tight. Okay, I've got the EGR valve on now, got the the metal gasket in place. EGR valve goes on there. Metal gasket on the other side, goes the other way around, facing downwards. A bit tight, these aftermarket ones. That's in place. Get the nut. What I've got to do now is get the bottom piece up. The tube underneath where the bolt's underneath. So there it is. And then just do it up. Okay, and there's the EGR valve all fitted in. The nut there all tightened up, the brass one put back in place. There's a bit of play on it. It's got a ribbed section where you can move it about slightly. Go careful with it if you do it. The other nut is underneath here, and you can see it, the sun's not quite right in the right place, but the other nut's there. It's just two nuts that hold it in place, the EGR valve, and it all just slides off backwards. I've taken the connector off here for the oil pressure switch, I do believe that one is. Put him back on, connect it back in. There. Let me see what happens now. I'm just going to fire it up in a moment. The long bolt went in here. When you take the plastic cover off, there's a longer bolt in there. One of them's really long and the others are just short ones. And it's just those four. Make sure you get the right four, otherwise you start unscrewing the head. So it's just that one, that one, that one and that one, and then you'll be able to remove the plastic cover and get to it, the EGR valve there. As I say, I cleaned it and it worked for a month or so, and then it's started to throw up a problem again, so fitted a new one. £55, can't be bad. Hopefully it'll last a few years. The other one that was on there originally is a Peerberg, and yeah, you can get a Peerberg, but they are expensive. So see how the aftermarket one goes. See how if it is any good. Okay, I'm just going to put the top cover on. Okay, I've just put the cover back on now with 1, 2, 3, 4 Allen key screws, and the EGR valve is tucked in under here, and hopefully we won't have any more peeps out of it. See how it goes. I've just cleared the fault in the front there with the Elm 327 that I have plugged into my laptop, and cleared the fault and see what happens. Thank you for watching.